We are here to support the many student organizations on campus and encourage members of the Creighton community to contribute positively to the greater community. Creighton Students Union is co-hosting this event alongside the Muslim Student Association. By gathering here today, we are standing in unity in response to the numerous past and present failures of Creighton to live according to our values. We are working towards welcoming and including all people, no matter their many diverse identities. We are also urging administration to better exemplify our Creighton Jesuit values down to the events we approve on campus. In advocating for a more standardized process for student organizations, approval, and what events student organizations can hold on campus. Just a reminder that this is a peaceful demonstration, so we ask that this demonstration remains respectful and compassionate. We will first start by a prayer being read by Nick Front.
The prayer that we will all be participating in today is a prayer based on the Dangerous Women Creed by Lynn Habel. So before we begin, if you want to enter into a prayerful posture, open up your mind and your heart to the love that is flowing between this community and the Creighton community today. Dear God, please make us dangerous people. May we be people who acknowledge our power to change and grow and be radically alive for God. May we be healers of wounds and righters of wrongs. May we may we weep with those who weep and speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. May we cherish children, embrace the elderly, and empower the poor. May we pray deeply and teach wisely. May we be strong and gentle leaders. May we sing songs of joy and talk down fear. May we never hesitate to let passion push us, conviction compel us, and righteous anger energize us. May we dismantle abusive systems and silence lies with truth. May we shine like stars in a darkened generation. May we overflow with goodness in the name of God. And in that name and by that power, may we change the world. Dear God, please make us dangerous people.
First, I would like to welcome our first speaker, Mallory Cranwell. Mallory is a senior studying history and theology and has been involved in many organizations on campus, such as the Freshman Leadership Program, the Schlegel Center for Service and Justice, Residential Life, Campus Ministry, Cortina, and faculty-led programs abroad. Mallory is just one voice among the many students who want to see a more inclusive campus community that engages in a faith that does justice at all levels. Please welcome Mallory.
Good afternoon. I would like to welcome everyone who has joined us today. I want to thank the Creighton Students Union, the Muslim Student Association, and all members of the Creighton community supporting us with their presence or in spirit. By standing in silent solidarity, we are advocating for the inclusion of all Creighton students. We are promoting a faith that does justice, rooted in the idea that we find God in all things. With our presence, we are calling upon Creighton's administration to follow our mission, based upon the promotion of justice, service to others, the inalienable worth of each individual, and appreciation of ethnic and cultural diversity. In light of the recent event approved to come to campus by Creighton administration, students are angry, hurt, and confused. What occurred and what was said that night is against our mission of finding God in all things. Upon arrival to this campus during Welcome Week, we sit through presentation after presentation that teaches us about our values and what it means to have a Jesuit education. I believe that students are doing their part, and we would like administration to start doing theirs. This event and its repercussions are not political. It does not come down to free speech, and it does not come down to just this one event. It comes down to the fact that some students do not feel safe here. Some students do not feel accepted, and some students do not feel that we are promoting our values. There has been a consistent lack of diversity, inclusivity, and visibility for minorities on this campus, and it is time for that to change. What does living our mission and values mean? This is my answer. It means creating an environment where people are accepted for their faith, race, class, gender, citizenship, and sexual identity. It means protecting students, especially those who do not fit Creighton's status quo. It means taking a compassionate, preferential option for those at the margins. And if that means administrators have to deny a speaker who is anti-Muslim or an event that targets undocumented immigrants, I urge them to stand and do it. We can still have free speech and intellectual diversity on this campus without having hate and bigotry. We are calling for a more standardized and equal process for clubs and event approval. The system we have now is not equal. We want administration to realize that the clubs and the events they approve or choose to not approve impact students, and I have been disappointed in the lack of urgency among administrators to act and the failure to acknowledge the inequality in who has space on this campus. Grounded in Catholic social teaching, Creighton should be promoting the dignity of all human beings, and this commitment should be reflected in who we approve to speak on campus. At the beginning of this year, I stood at the pulpit of St. John's, telling the entire freshman class about my love for Creighton. I promoted the values of a faith that does justice and finding God in all things. I spoke about my time in Peru and the Philippines, in North Omaha and at the Siena Francis House. I talked about how these experiences have showed me that God is everywhere, especially in those at the margins. I want upcoming classes of Creighton to know the community that promotes human dignity and justice. As my graduation quickly approaches, I hope this community will learn to accept all people while still creating space for differing opinions. I hope that one day Creighton administration will be able to answer the question of how we are to live our mission and values in the modern world. I encourage all students to take these passions and use them as fuel for the long and difficult road of working for justice, on and off this campus. Your efforts cannot stop here, but must continue on into next semester and your remaining time at Creighton. Our voices are loud. We have the power to influence the direction of this university long after we graduate. I urge us all to realize the power that lies in our voices and our actions and use it to work to create a more just Creighton and a more just world. Thank you.
I would like you to take a moment to reflect on the words Mallory has said. Feel free to share with the people around you as we want to encourage dialogue. We will now stand for 5 minutes in solidarity. I would like to welcome our second speaker to the podium. This is Arish Kawari. Arish Kawari is a senior majoring in biology. Next year, she is planning to attend Creighton's dental school to continue her education. She is originally from Kuwait and has come to Omaha for school. Arish is also the president of MSA, the Muslim Student Association. Please welcome Arish.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all. First, I would like to thank you for joining us today and taking the time to come and support our cause. Today, we are standing up to our values as a university in hopes to protect the place many of us call home. Before coming to Creighton, I have lived my entire life in my hometown of Kuwait. I had never been to the United States, but I had heard about some incidents where Muslims were being treated differently because of their religion. I had hoped that it would never be something that I would encounter at Creighton, and it never was. until 2 weeks ago. Since my first day at Creighton 4 years ago, everyone I have met was very welcoming, accepting, and friendly. I had never been treated differently or been attacked because of my religion or how I choose to express myself as a Muslim woman. Everyone I have interacted with was very interested in knowing more about my culture and my religion. Because of that, Creighton had become my other home. It became a place where I felt comfortable being myself and expressing myself. I never felt judged because I cover my head, and I never felt different than any other student. 2 weeks ago, I attended the panel held in Scott Student Center after hearing about it from friends. The speakers on the panel used hateful language against undocumented immigrants and Muslims. During the Q&A session, students were not able to get their questions out or express their opinions without being interrupted and even verbally attacked by the panelists. A lot of students have left the room angry and hurt because of the injustice they had just experienced. It broke my heart to see that we, as a Jesuit university, who has made it a mission to include everyone and accept everyone, to give hate a platform on our campus. On a campus where we always promote our Jesuit values of inclusion and diversity. Even in classes, we discussed and promoted being men and women for and with others. I think this incident is testing our faith in our values and how will we stand up against injustice and be men and women for and with others. The reason we are having this demonstration is not to target a specific group of people or to silence people whose beliefs do not match or align with our beliefs, but to stand up against injustice and refuse to give hate speech a platform on our campus. Me, as a Muslim student, I believe that everyone will have their own unique opinion, and we should accept that and never attack them for it. As God said in the Quran, and if your Lord had willed, he could have made mankind one community, but they will not cease to differ. This verse acknowledges and declares that differences among people are normal and should be celebrated. What happened 2 weeks ago was unjust, where people were targeted and attacked based on their ethnicity, immigration status, and religion. This happened in a university that had made it its mission to promote inclusion and diversity, and acceptance of others regardless of their race, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or however they choose to define themselves. What we need to do now is to ask the hard questions and take a stand to prevent people from being hurt again. Because if we do not stand against hate, what makes us different than hateful people? We need to ask ourselves and the administration, what part of the Creighton mission statement were they referencing when they allowed for the speaker to have a space on our campus? When a group of students asked why the event was approved, since one of the panelists, Mark Christian, is the founder of a well-known anti-Muslim hate group. They said that it was because it was presented as a balanced panel. I then asked the question, is hate okay as long as it's balanced by something else? Are we as students, and more importantly, are we as human beings okay with our university thinking that? Was this event showing Creighton for and with others? or finding God in all things, as Mallory said? I urge you all to keep thinking about these questions and never give up standing up for your values. Thank you again for coming today.
Thank you, Marie. Before we conclude our demonstration today, we're going to take five more minutes of solidarity. We ask that you please hold up your signs for these next 5 minutes.